Hey guys, welcome to Saturday Skate. We have this special episode for you guys today, and I'm so excited about it. And before we get started, I wanted to do our devotional first while we're out here. And I'm on vacation right now, and you can see this is a marsh behind me, and it's really cool just being around God's creation and seeing the different things that He created. And we're going to be out here on the beach today, just as the title said. But I just wanted to get started with seeing what God has planned for us, and just in some ways diving into His Word and looking at a story that is honestly one of my favorite stories. And most of you guys probably know the little story within the story, but it is the story of David. And we know David and Goliath, how he defeated him with a sling and things like that. And the reason I love the story of David's life is because it shows faith, it shows patience, it shows repentance, it shows loyalty. And it's just a great story, and it has all those little things, and quite honestly, things don't go David's way the entire time in his life. He's anointed to be king at 15 years old. The prophet Samuel comes and anoints him with oil when he's 15, and he even wasn't expected by Samuel. Samuel kept looking at his other brothers like, oh, this guy looks like a king, this guy looks like a king, this guy looks like a king, and God said, no, it's this guy David. The boy David there, the youngest son. And because God looked at his heart rather than his appearance, Israel already had a king named Saul, and he looked the part of a king. He was tall, he was big, he looked like he would be a conqueror and a king. And David was just in some ways a normal guy, but God looked at his heart and looked at how faithful David was to him, and how faithful David would be to his people, and not be selfish but be a servant. But the thing is David was anointed when he was a teenager, and so he knew he was going to be king, but he ended up having to wait 15 years for it. 15 years for him to be actually crowned king, because Saul was still king. But for those 15 years, David was blessed. And I think that is a testament to our lives, is how patient are we to wait for God's plan. Even when we know what we're called to do and things still just don't seem to be going our way, and that we still haven't hit that objective that we know that God has called us to do, I want to challenge us to just be patient like David, to be waiting, to even though we can't see what's going on, we don't know why God does certain things in our lives, that we will just listen to Him, trust Him, put our faith in Him, and it takes time, and we like for things to happen right now, because even like David, I can assume that he was probably thinking like, I know what's supposed to happen, why isn't this happening? Because he even got banished from the country that he was anointed to be king for, and he was being chased by Saul, and Saul was trying to kill him. So I can only imagine what was going through his head, but he was still faithful and trusted God. And it worked out in the end, and he became king, and he became the greatest king that Israel had and probably ever had. And so I just want us to look at that story and just think of the things that go on in that story. And you can read that story in 1 Samuel and 2 Samuel, and we can look at the faith that David has, the humility, the patience. And David screws up along the way, and he repents, and he looks back to God, and he puts his faith and his trust back into God. And so I want to challenge us with that today, is in the waiting, remember you are marked by God. He has a plan for you. Just trust Him and be patient with Him. I hope you guys enjoy this Saturday skate. I hope you enjoy being at the beach with us. So let's go.
Oh my god. Oh my god, he on X Games mode.